Hey you guys, welcome back. I am so excited for today because we are going to be testing out several new cleaning products that I picked up over the past month or so, and I haven't tried them out yet because I figured it'd be a lot of fun just to try them together. There are some that I have super high hopes for and I'm pretty positive I'm going to love. And then there's a few that I'm like a little bit skeptical about, but I'm so excited to try everything out and share all my feelings on them. So everything that I am trying out today, I will have linked down below and then also over on my Like to Know It page. You guys, I'm hoping that some of these things are going to be a little bit of game changer and just make things a little bit easier around the house, because that's always my goal, right? Just to make things a lot easier when it comes to cleaning and homemaking. So let's get into it. Okay, so I wanted to do a quick little unboxing to start things out. So this first item is a mop, and I actually used to have one kind of similar to this, but this one has definitely fixed the issues that the old one had. Like, it's a lot more sturdy, but I didn't get this mop to mop the floors. I actually got it to clean the walls, and we'll be doing that later on. And then this little contraption is actually a baseboard cleaner, and I'm going to be cleaning the baseboards upstairs, so you'll see later on in the video kind of what my thoughts are on this little guy. But it's pretty cool because it comes with two different kinds of pads, and it also can be used to clean walls or baseboards, flat baseboards, kind of all of it. And then this guy is something that I've seen all over social media. It is one of those really long shower cleaning tools, and I've been kind of skeptical about it just because I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to really press down on it and get a good clean, but I'll show you guys that one really soon. And then this one is not like a new tool necessarily, but it's actually a cleaning hack for cleaning mirrors and windows. Honestly, I kind of struggled with this at first, but in the end, I loved this one. Okay, so normally I will always clean our windows and mirrors with my e-cloths. I use the general purpose e-cloth and the glass and polishing cloth, and that works amazing. Like, it leaves zero streaks. The only thing is it's just a cloth in your hands, so I typically will have to get on like a stool or something. And I saw this hack. I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but it was on one of the shorts here on YouTube. But basically you just use spray away, which I know is very, very popular. And then you want to get a Swiffer mop. These were the microfiber cloths that she had linked. So all you do is push them into the little holes, and basically you're just going to spray your mirror and then wipe it down with this. We'll see how it works. I'm gonna test this one out a little bit more because I think I might have used too much of the product, and also it did work definitely better when I did like double this up. It was less floppy and I feel like it had more absorbency power in there. Also, I'm very picky with streaks, so I was like looking really close because sometimes it looks like you got it, and then once the dust settles, it's like you can kind of see where you wiped. I think this is gonna be really nice, and I love, I don't know. I'll have to check it out more, but it would be nice to be able to do this without having to climb on anything. Like, that would just make it way faster. Okay, I am very impressed with this. So I feel like I was using too much on the first mirror. That mirror I used less, and because I had it doubled up, it worked way better. I don't see any streaks at all, and it was like quick, very, very easy. So I definitely would recommend that one. I was actually not planning on cleaning our glass doors in our bedroom, but I honestly always just avoid cleaning these because I hate having to grab a bunch of stools or chairs to climb up on, because I definitely cannot reach the top of them. But this made short work of it. However, I went back later and I looked, and on the outside you could definitely see streaks, and I'll kind of talk about that later, but I really just think this is not the best thing for cleaning outside windows. But inside of the window and mirrors and things like that, it's definitely a good choice. All right, the next new tool that I'm going to try out is, it's one of those like tub and tile and shower scrubbers, but with the long handle. But I'm curious for the shower where you kind of have to scrub a little bit more, if this would actually hold up. I'm skeptical on this because sometimes, like, because it has the long handle, it's like you can't get enough like push on it to really scrub deep down. So that's kind of why I'm skeptical. But I'm hopeful because it would be awesome. And then this little piece right here, you can actually hang it on like whatever shower rod you have, so that you can literally just keep it in your shower at all times and like scrub whenever you're ready. So we shall see. I'm gonna use the same kind of stuff that I use all the time to clean my shower. So I kind of change that up a lot of times, but today I'm just using my Dawn dish spray, which is in this cute little bottle. And then I'm also using Von Ami. Sometimes I'll use, you know, baking soda or Zep cleaner, but today it's not super dirty in there, so I'm just going to clean that. Also, I want to show you guys. Last time you saw me clean the shower, I cleared this entire bench off and I put things up here, and we've kept it that way this entire time. It's been amazing. So I will link these shelves. They are just stuck on like this, but they haven't budged at all. They've been incredible. Also this little guy from Temu. I love those, and the boys will love those too. So I'll link that below as well, but let's get to cleaning the shower. So this comes with 4 different heads. Maybe I'll try this one first. So you can also extend the pole right here, and then this head can swivel and either be straight up and down, or it can turn 90 degrees or 45. And then also it has 2 different power modes, so it has like a low and then a high. So I really ended up loving this. I will say, however, if you have like really intensely dirty grout, you're probably going to need something a little bit more intense, like one of those drill bit things. So you're probably going to have to still get down on your hands and knees. However, if you clean your shower fairly regularly, which I love that this can actually be kept in your shower, just hanging on, you know, something that you might have in there or somewhere close by. It was strong enough to be able to give a little bit of push to it, or a little force, I guess. And I love the different heads that it came with as well. So I would definitely be using this. I will recommend it, but like I said, if it is like intensely dirty grout and really, really dirty tiles, you might need something a little bit more intense and you probably have to get on your hands and knees. But for just regular everyday cleaning, I absolutely love this one. All right, this stuff I actually have had in the past. One time I had bought a bottle years and years ago, like probably towards the beginning of when I first got on YouTube. I had ordered it from Grove Collaborative and I don't know what it was. It was like, I just felt like it was so strange to squirt product onto your floor and then mop it up. So I kind of just never really gave it much of a chance. I decided to go ahead and try it out again because I have the same scent in like my wood spray multi-surface cleaner. And I love the scent. The scent itself is almond and it smells so, so good. So I decided to go ahead and try it out for if you're mopping with whatever, whether it's a steam mop or a Swiffer or you have one of those vac mops like I have. It doesn't really matter what you're using. I feel like if you don't want to use product like in the bucket or in the solution or something, you can definitely squirt this on your floor and mop your floors as you normally would. And it will add such a subtle but really, really pretty smell to the room. And it also gives it such a beautiful shine as well. So this is like not officially new to me, but it is the first time I'm really giving it a chance and I'm hooked. Also, I quickly wanted to remind you guys about the giveaway that I have going on this entire month as a way to say thank you for being here. This month we are celebrating 6 years on YouTube, which is so incredibly wild to me. I still cannot believe it's been that long, but we are giving away $200 cash to a lucky subscriber. And as always, we are keeping it very simple to enter. All you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and then leave a comment on all of the videos that we're posting during this upcoming month. And as always, all of the information will be shared down below in the description box. So thank you so much for being here and good luck. Okay, so I want to show you guys some of the new items I got. Literally all but one is Scrub Daddy brand. So in no particular order, these are the Eco Collection Scrub Daddy. They are made from coconut fibers. I have had a coconut fiber sponge in the past from Grove Collaborative and I loved it so much, but I really love the Scrub Daddy stuff. So this I like because it's actually like a thinner version. So I'm feeling like you could get just maybe twice as much use out of these. And it has that coconut fiber, obviously, like feel, which means it's going to last for a long time, or at least my last ones did from Grove Collaborative. And then also I'm hoping it'll have like some of the Scrub Daddy power, so it'll just work really good. But I do like that they're a little bit smaller. I wonder if they're going to have the same kind of Scrub Daddy sponge thing where they get more stiff in cold water and softer in hot water. I don't know, I'm curious to try these ones. I also got this tangerine clean paste. I feel like the power paste and the pink stuff are so hot right now, like everybody is using them. I have never tried the power paste before, and the thing that I like about the power paste actually, which is kind of cool, is it actually comes with a sponge itself. So It feels pretty expensive. I think it's like $10 for this, but you do get a sponge, so that's gonna take off some of that cost. One thing that I've heard from a lot of you guys is that this power paste works incredibly. However, it can be a bit more abrasive, so be careful and like test it on certain areas, because some of you have said that it will scratch. And I'm kind of feeling like, especially after feeling this and seeing the look of it, it's reminding me a lot of Pink Stuff just in the packaging itself. Some of you had recommended Scour Daddies, and basically they're just the same kind of sponge, except they maybe last a little bit longer, so it makes it a little bit more cost effective. They're just basically a Scrub Daddy, except not in the smiley face shape, which is a lot of fun, but if it can last longer, that would be even more awesome. I'm curious if these are going to be what I want to clean my sink with. I like to have something that like really can get in all the nooks and crannies. These two I got together. I constantly get questions about what is in this little spray bottle that I always wash my dishes with, and it's literally just Dawn Power Wash. I've used this stuff for years and I love it. I do like the free and clear version, which that's what I got here, but it does go fast, and there are certain times where I wish I just had regular good old-fashioned soap and a nice soap dispenser so that I can kind of have like the best of both worlds. I saw this and I thought this was so cool. Fill it up with whatever soap, push down on this with your sponge, and it kind of like pops out of this middle section, or you can squeeze it and there's actually a hole in the bottom. So I was like, this is perfect. I'm just excited to try all these things out. Hopefully they will not disappoint. So I have loved this Soap Daddy. I always laugh at the name with Scrub Daddy and Soap Daddy and all the things. But anyway, I have loved this so much because now I feel like I really have the best of all worlds. I have a spray to quickly do a majority of our dishes, and then you can push your sponge down onto the top of the Soap Daddy, get whatever suds into your sponge that you're needing. And then if you do need to actually just squirt a bunch of soap on something, like maybe you're soaking a bunch of dishes, you can do that with the Soap Daddy as well. And I also wanted to mention, because I do get a lot of questions, that little tray, my soap station tray area, that is actually from Target. It is a dark marble, so as pretty as it is, it does stain, like it gets some water stains. I don't really mind it because most of it's going to be covered up by the actual, things that you have sitting on there. However, if that will bother you, then maybe steer clear of this one or maybe seal it prior to using it. But I love that it actually keeps it elevated off of the counters so that I'm not getting like those watermarks on the counter itself, because in the end, that's really what counts, is your counter, not necessarily your soap station area. All right, so here I am trying the Power Paste for the very first time. My first impressions is it was very, very dense, extremely dense. It doesn't look like you get a lot, but I think it's gonna go a long way. And every time we use our pans and like we use oil, you get those kind of stains on your pans. So recently I tried using the Pink Stuff on this and it worked really well. But today I decided to try the Scrub Daddy Power Paste, and I am not kidding you. I gave it like 0 elbow grease. Like I just barely took the sponge across it and everything came off beautifully. I do think this is a little bit more abrasive. I don't know if I'm really concerned about it scratching things. However, I would always recommend to test different areas, but I was blown away at the power of this stuff. It's incredible. So if you have like a really tough stuck-on mess, I think this one would really help with it. That Power Paste, especially mixed with that scrubber, worked so good. I don't have high hopes for this. Almost a decade ago I got this. I've never been able to get it to look nice again, but I'm curious if the Power Paste can do anything for this pan. So I'm just gonna try it out. I don't have high hopes for this one. Not anything to do with the Power Paste, just the pan, but we'll try it out and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I could have scrubbed more, but do you see, like, this is the area I worked, and this piece right here just right here. So that's what it did look like. But look, do you see that? That actually worked. I mean, it did take some time, but I feel like I could actually get somewhere with this pan if I just took some time. I am very, very impressed with this. Literally nothing's been able to do that. Power paste is definitely a win for me. I just can't say if it like will scratch anything yet. I like that stuff a lot. Okay, no, it's kind of weird to clean the sink immediately after I just cleaned it, but I wanted to get a good clean on it just with soap and water. And then that way I kind of had like a starting point to see if the tangerine clean actually worked any better. And I do feel like it did. It actually got it a little bit more shiny and it just felt a lot cleaner. So I don't feel like that really showed up on camera. Sometimes it's hard to really show truly how something works, but I will say I really, really like the tangerine clean. And then I'm also using it just on my stove to get everything off. I don't typically have to use much on my stove, if anything at all, other than water, just because it is an induction stove and so it just doesn't really burn on all of the food and everything. But that tangerine clean paste worked so well and I don't feel like it's very abrasive at all. So I would trust putting that on pretty much anything. I think although the two Scrub Daddy pastes are somewhat similar, they are both very different. Like the tangerine paste is going to be like your everything that you can use on really anything. And then the power paste is more like when you really need to pull out the big guns. Also, I just want to mention these because I get questions about these silicone drying mats all the time. They actually come in different sizes. I will link them down below. If you want the smaller ones, you can actually find the smaller ones on Temu, which is the same size that I have, or you can get a larger size on Amazon. They are going to be cheaper on Temu, which is the same for just about anything. But either way, I love them. They come in a ton of different colors. Like I said, they come in different sizes. They dry really quickly. They roll up and take up no space at all. They are just awesome. All right, we are moving right along through all of the new cleaning tools and hopefully giving you lots of cleaning motivation along the way. But oh my gosh, you guys, I just have to say how much we have been loving our kitchen. It has totally changed the feel of our home. As you may know, we recently or somewhat recently redid our kitchen completely and it just feels like a totally new space in here. Let me know in the comments if you saw the full renovation. I'm actually thinking to put together like an entire renovation video just so everything is all in one spot. But anyway, I just love how it all turned out. All right, we are upstairs, actually in the loft area. This is still like one of our favorite spaces in the house. It's just so cozy. It's like open. You have the walkway right here, but it's just like in this little nook. It's so cozy. In here, and I'm also gonna be doing in the theater room area, but I want to test out some of the products. So we are going to be cleaning the walls. I actually used to have one kind of like this, but the one thing I didn't like about it was it wasn't very stable. This one has a lot bigger base and it just seems like a step up in quality. So I think that's gonna be really awesome. We're also gonna clean out our couch. So no judgment, I'm sure there's gonna be lots of fun little goodies in there, but I got a little hand vac for that. And I think it's gonna be amazing. I was feeling it and it has really good suction. We're also gonna be testing out this tool right here. It's like a baseboard cleaner. We're not quite in spring cleaning right now, but I detest doing baseboards. It's like the worst of all. So I think this is going to be awesome. But this also is really cool. You can adjust this piece right here to push out and give you a way to kind of get in those grooves of your baseboards. Or, why do I do the things I do? Okay, or you pull this out and this piece actually goes flat. So see how you can pull it out or leave it flat? And so if you have it flat, you can actually clean your walls with this. I think this would take a lot longer because it's just a lot, maybe a third of the size or so of the other one. So I think the other one's gonna still be better for walls, but I was thinking this could actually possibly work well for windows. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try it. We'll see. But so we have like walls, windows, baseboards, floors, couch, all the things, and it's going to feel amazing in here. So enough chit chat, let's do this. This is the little vacuum right here. It's a Shark vacuum and it's super cool. It's very, very lightweight, very small. This is how you open the canister. Not cool, it just pops down. It does come with 2 different attachments, or you can just use it as is. Very easy to hold. This is one of those things that I do not think is absolutely necessary at all, especially if you have a regular vacuum that has, you know, a handheld attachment or things like that. You can definitely get away with just using that. So that's kind of why I've never actually gotten a little handheld vacuum, I think. I've kind of steered away from them just thinking they're extra. However, I will say it is very, very lightweight, and I do love that aspect of it, and it has really good suction also. So I do definitely see myself pulling this out for smaller jobs, things where I don't need to get my big vacuum out and lug it all around the house with me. So there's absolutely a time and a space for this. Don't feel like you have to run out and pick this up if you don't have the budget right now, or if you just love your main vacuum. But if you are in the market for a small handheld vacuum, this one was amazing. Alright, so this mopping tool is really meant to be used as a floor mop, but you can definitely use it for your walls. It does come with a few different pad attachments, or I guess just pads. And honestly, this was so satisfying to sit and scrub your walls with the mop. I have always just scrubbed my walls with a rag by hand. One of those annoying things that if it's too inconvenient, you kind of just never do it. And I am not very often going to be grabbing a chair and moving it every 2 feet so that I can reach the ceiling and the top of the walls and everything. And so my walls just don't get wiped down if it's not really close by. But this was so quick and easy to just wipe down all the walls. So I was just kind of going around and just mopping all the walls. I even did some areas that I didn't film because it was just like very satisfying and very easy to do. So this tool right here is absolutely a win for me. Moving right along, we are going to be using that baseboard tool. Now, like I showed you earlier, I'm kind of adjusting it because our baseboards do have grooves in them. And I think you can do this different ways. You could probably get the mop head wet. You could spray cleaner on your baseboards like I'm doing here. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about actually putting the cleaner on your baseboards. But I was kind of torn on this one. I'm a little bit still undecided about it, but it's definitely not like an immediate win for me. Yeah, so I'm not really sure. I'm like half and half on this. I feel like it's a little bit difficult to control. It does work. It's just a bit difficult to control. So I don't know. I haven't made my mind up on this one yet. However, I'm curious to see how this will work on the windows with the sprayway. This one could be nicer than the Swiffer, so I'm just gonna put this on totally flat, and this is the microfiber one, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I will say this does not work well for windows. I can just see streaks like crazy. So I'm gonna go get another microfiber cloth and try it again without this tool. I just think this pad is not good for windows. Before I keep testing this, I need to clean the outside windows properly because nothing is working good for them. I think I just need to get some Dawn dish spray and actually like clean them, like scrub them. So I'll go do that and we'll reach a verdict on the Sprayway and Swiffer. So once I sprayed down the windows and kind of scrubbed them with a sponge on the outside, I ended up just using the indoor mop, the one that I was cleaning the walls with, and it worked beautifully. It cleaned them so nice, and then I just actually dried them off with, I think I just used the microfiber cloth. That worked so beautifully. So I will say that Swiffer trick definitely works, but not on outdoor windows, or at least here in Arizona where we have so much dust. But one thing that I really do love about this mop is that it's flat, and honestly it's so satisfying to do. It's very quick and easy. You can use the mop bucket with, different cleaner in there, or you can just use that Method Squirt floor cleaner. That worked beautifully as well, and like I said, it gives the most amazing scent. It smells so good. But I really love that mop does a lot of different duties. It can be used for your floors, for your walls, scrubbing outdoor windows. Like, it's just very versatile. So this is one that I would absolutely recommend getting for multiple things throughout your home. I really just love this mop. I loved the one that I used to have, and like I said, the only thing that I didn't love about it was that I felt like it was a little bit tippy, and this one is not that way at all. So I think they really fixed all the things that I wasn't loving about it. This one is definitely getting high scores from me. Hello, it is actually the next day. Kyle and the boys got home and we just got busy with life. So I figured I would go ahead and just tackle the theater room this morning. There isn't really a whole ton to do in here, just like general tidy. I do want to slow vacuum the floors, and found that girl's YouTube channel that I saw the mirror hack on, and I noticed I was doing it a little bit wrong. So I'm gonna try it her way. It's not much off, but I'm gonna see if that will help. But also I did want to say I looked at my mirror this morning in our bathroom and it looks incredible. So I would definitely say I like that for mirrors. I think you can't just wipe down an outside window. I feel like you have to literally wash it, or at least here in Arizona where there's like so much dust and dirt, you have to really deep clean the outsides anytime you clean it, otherwise you just will smudge it. But anyway, we have some work to get done here, so let's do this. This theater room is one of our other favorite places. It's just like so loungy and inviting. I don't really think anything will ever compare to our basement that we finished when we lived in our Utah home. If you've been here for several years, I'm sure you've seen those videos where we actually, Kyle, like completely finished our basement because it was just some studs and concrete all over the floor, and we just did it all ourselves. It's funny because it was like such a random kind of weird basement, and we made it into into just like our dream space. We love that one. So I don't think anything will ever compare to that, but we do love spending our time here in this theater room. But because it is such a laid back space, and I feel like in a lot of ways, Kyle and I are pretty laid back parents. When we're in here, we don't have a whole ton of rules other than like don't trash the place, but like we eat in here, we just enjoy our time. And so it definitely takes a little bit of abuse, and I need to come in here fairly often and just give it a good thorough cleaning. Once again, this little hand vac worked beautifully. I really can just not say how nice it is that it has such great suction, and it just works so well to do like these little tasks like this. This was a little bit unexpected. I wasn't really planning on tackling the windows, but when I got a little closer to them and I was in cleaning mode, I was like, I cannot go out of this room without tackling them because they were disgusting, as you saw. So I'm actually pulling out my wet, I don't remember what this is called, like the wet eraser or wet duster. Oh, that's it. It's a wet duster, and I hadn't used it in about a week or so. So as you can see, at first it was like rock hard, but I just rinsed it and kind of submerged it underwater, and eventually it was good as new. So the thing that I love about this is that you're able to really nicely dust everything off. As you can see, like these windows were kind of caked, so it was making a bit of a mess at first, but I was able to just keep rinsing it, and then you squeeze the water out, and it just keeps being so usable. The thing that I don't like about doing this with like a wet cloth is after a while it just kind of cakes into the cloth, whereas this is way more dense, and so all the dust and dirt just really runs right off it, and you don't have to, dirty up a bunch of cloths or anything. It's just so convenient. But it also has those little ridges in there where it just kind of traps all of the dust and dirt. So these are awesome. You can find them on Amazon. I ordered mine from Temu, and I actually shared it a few weeks ago when I tried it out for the first time, but I love this little tool as well. Also, this is kind of random, but I'm actually recording this voiceover out of my office because I have been displaced away from my office for the next, several days, I guess, maybe the next week, because we are actually doing a reset or refresh on my office and kind of pull it out of that modern farmhouse style that we had in our old house and really just make it flow so smoothly with how our style is now. You guys will see that video next Monday. So that really has nothing to do with what I'm doing here or the cleaning or anything, but I'm just excited, and it reminded me because I'm doing this voiceover right here, not in my office, and that's why. It's like an inconvenient but good thing. Okay, now this is the thing that I was doing wrong with this hack. So I was trying to, I was basically just hooking the microfiber cloth onto the Swiffer wrong. So what she does is actually just like puts it in the corner, and then part of the cloth can kind of hang off to the side. But that worked so much better because it makes the cloth really nice and pulled taut, but it also gives a lot more cleaning area because once one side of it gets all wet and filled up, you can just pull the cloth down and readjust it, and you get like double the use out of one single cloth. So do it this way, you will love it. Finally, we're just going to be cleaning the floors in the theater room. So I am actually slow vacuuming. Now our Roborock robot vacuum just cleaned earlier in the morning, so I didn't need to do like a regular vacuum, but typically I would go through and just vacuum the floors as usual, empty the canister, and then you literally just go over your floors extremely slow. Like it will take maybe 10 minutes or more just to vacuum one little room. But if you give your vacuum time to really go over each area slowly, you will be amazed at how much dust and dirt and hair and all the things was getting left in your carpet even after a regular vacuum. I think that's really how vacuums are intended to work, is just going over your floor slowly, but we always tend to kind of rush through that process. So if you are not slow vacuuming your carpets, try it out. It is amazing. And that is everything for today. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this gave you a ton of cleaning motivation. I hope it helped you feel a little bit more guided through these cleaning products. If you have any questions about anything that I used today, please leave a comment down below, ask me questions. I'm here to answer them and help you figure out what ones would be best for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the bell notification so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And I will see you guys right back here on Thursday, as well as next Monday for that house projects video, where we are going to be pulling my office out of the modern farmhouse feel and giving it a completely new vibe. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.